Anyway, speaking of doing the best you can. Hey, look, working out, we know. Obvious, workout. Work out hard, too, you know? I mean, maybe not every single day working out hard, but work out hard. And when you do work out hard, you might need some supplementation. I think I wasn't a supplement guy. I wasn't before. You know this, right?
I do.
I might have mentioned it.
Everyone knows.
But now I am a supplement guy. Happy to say, not the kind of supplement guy who's like, hey, take this power gainer. Hey, what kind of protein powder you take? But even though I'm not against protein powder, I don't take any. But nonetheless, you know what I'm talking about. Krill oil. I'm going to say to my father-in-law, his name is Ross, I'm sorry for not heeding all of you. Is heeding is just advice. Can you heed advice, or is it just warnings?
Would heed advice.
Okay.
Heed it.
So you can heed warnings and advice.
Yes.
I should have heeded Ross's advice, my father-in-law, about the krill oil. Eventually, Jocko turned me back onto it, or further onto it. So I'm on it now. I think
on it,
he'd be happy. Literally on it. Yeah. On it.
.com.
Pun intended. Anyway, On It is the company. If you didn't know already, Jocko gets krill oil from On It. Onit.com. If you want 10% off all these supplements, which are what? Shroom Tech. Okay, Shroom Tech, good for oxygen uptake is what it is. So when you're doing these hardcore metcons, jiu-jitsu, your body takes up the oxygen easier, more efficiently. Cordyceps mushroom. Just some science for you right there. Strong Bone, that helped me. Bro, I had this, and I kind of wanted to report this before, but I didn't want to take too much time. And the jury was still kind of out on it, but so I had this tendinitis kind of situation, and it's weird. It wasn't in like a normal place like in your elbow. It was in my deltoid muscle where it inserts into the humerus bone, which is your like bone under your bicep. And it was like tendinitis, and it's like, you know, the kind of like, I'm not injured, I'm not out, but I gotta warm up more, I gotta rub on it, you know, all this stuff. And I'm lifting hard. I'm not gonna take days off if I'm not injured. So, Brad, this thing wasn't gonna get better. That's the thing about tendinitis. Like, if you keep lifting hard on it, it just simply won't go away. It's the whole reason there's tendinitis, because you're lifting hard on it, you know? Brad, this thing's not going away. I'm just gonna have to live with it, or wait for, you know, the time where I don't know, have to skip workouts, whatever. But I'm on the Strong Bone. I'm like, all right, Strong Bone, let's see what up, you know? Do your thing. I'm not saying it was because of the Strong Bone, but nonetheless, the tendinitis, it's not completely gone, I'll be honest with you, but it's pretty much gone. I'm warming up normal. I'm a believer of the Strong Bone. Thanks for turning me on to that.
Check.
Jocko. Anyway, go on there. There's a lot of good stuff for a lot of good things, from supplements, and there's workout stuff on there too. So I already had weights and a gym membership, but when you go on there, you see the stuff that they have, you're going to get some of that too. Because it's not like normal, like kettlebells, you know, there's all the cool ones. And there's info too on this stuff. Like, I understand that, you know, a lot of people, a lot of us, we want more info than just, oh yeah, Jocko takes it, so I'm going to take it. Some of us are like that. Anyway, we need more info. So there's info on the website. Be careful though, you can get stuck on there because it's real interesting and in depth, by the way. So just be careful with that. Anyway, onit.com/Jocko. I recommend the krill oil big time. To me, if you're not on the krill oil, you're behind. You're like a good 1 to 2 steps behind. Like steps, not like a half step. Like, you're behind. If I had a twin brother, which I do, you give us a 5-year period, 2-year period. I'm on krill oil. He's not on krill oil. We do the same exact workout program, same lifestyle. I'm way ahead of him. Way more functional.
Is this factual?
This is my hypothesis.
Oh, okay.
It's hypothetical.
Is Jade on krill oil? Yeah, he's on krill oil, but he don't have the same. He doesn't get after it physically as much as I do. So it's hard to have that for a basis of comparison for the krill oil. Nonetheless, good stuff on there. And the good thing about On It, I can say this with absolute certainty at this point, is that it's the good one. It's good stuff, because supplements in general, I don't want to mention any store names, but you know, when you go in the meathead bodybuilder store, a lot of those supplements they're whack. They just have like sparkly like labels and stuff, and they're junk. On It is not like that. Get 10% off if you want 10% off. Go onit.com/Jocko. that's a good way to support this podcast as well. Another good way to support my opinion. You know what's interesting is, okay, you review books on here, and sometimes, actually a lot of times when you have the guests, you actually have their book and you read their book to them.
Yeah.
Which is like a switcheroo.
That was, and I think I probably talked about this, but when we had Jody Middick, this is the first time it happened.
Yeah.
Jody came on, and I had his book, and I was like, okay, well, should I have him read this, or should I read this, or I just wasn't quite sure, and it seemed like the common sense answer would be, Jody, read this section of your book. Right? That was kind of like the common sense answer, and then you could talk about it. And for some reason, my gut told me, Jocko read it. I read it, right? And as soon as we got, probably, I don't know, halfway through it, Jody said, something like, man, hearing you read this is like crazy to hear. Yeah. And it's true. When you hear someone else read something to you, it's different. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. So that's what I've done every time since, when we had Colonel Reeder on here, and he said the same thing.
The same thing,
It's hard when he says, he's like, he's saying the most unemotional way. He's like, when you're reading this to me, it's extremely emotional for me to hear. I'm thinking, but it's and same thing with Captain Plum, same thing.
And Mannion as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting the way that works, and it's unbelievable to have the author sitting there.
Yeah.
And to have my spin.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, right? It's the way I hear it.
Yeah.
And for them to hear the way I hear it, it hits them from a different angle.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's where the interesting, powerful part comes from.
And it is very interesting, and it's interesting to watch it because, and you're a little bit different than a typical person just reading a book, so you really get to me is what it feels like is like, that's kind of how the book is supposed to feel, like when you read it or whatever. So, anyway, the point is, like, I think a lot of people feel that. So, they say, oh, I want to go get this book. But they're like, oh, what was that book again? I got to rewind it. So, anyway, you don't have to do that. Just go on our website, jockopodcast.com. There's a section on the top, books. Boom.
There they are.
All the books by episode. Boom, you can get them. And when you buy your books through there, support the podcast as well. So, boom, double edge.
Double gravitational.
It's a two-pronged sphere.
What if you weren't getting a book, you were getting like duct tape?
Anything, yeah. So that's the thing, yeah. It's our Amazon click-through situation. So yeah, even if before you do your shopping, boom, just click through. We got banners, Amazon banners, all up on there. Click there. But most people, they do the books, But yeah, if you're doing your shopping as well, do that.
Some people do golf clubs,
whatever you
like.
Some
people do cameras. Some people done some pretty cool high dollar items, which is very impactful. And then the low ticket items, lower cost items, you might not think it's a big deal, but then when a bunch of people do it, it is a big deal, and it's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
To the podcast.
Yep. Good way to support Amazon click-through. Boom. Also, good way to support this podcast is to subscribe. Seems obvious, I know. But, if you haven't, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. What's the other one that I keep missing?
I don't know.
Hey, man, whatever podcast
those are the three that I post.
Someone said something about SoundCloud. I got to look into it. I don't think that's a subscribed podcast situation. I don't know. They're just audio. I don't know either, so I shouldn't even say anything. But nonetheless, I look into it. If, in fact, people are committed to the SoundCloud situation. Anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, YouTube. If you want or are interested in the video version of this podcast, it's been on there since number 7. I think 7 was the first video episode we did.
The other ones are on there, but they're just audio with the picture of your head.
No, I think it's your head. Yeah, it's both of our heads, let's face it. But yeah, if you're interested in
that,
go on YouTube.
Don't you wish we had video from back then? I do.
Kind of.
I'm so bummed out we don't have it.
Yeah, the closest you have is like a picture of me trying to, what was the
You were setting up Periscope.
Periscope, yeah, I remember that.
The first one we did live on Periscope.
We tried.
No, we did.
We did.
We did it live on Periscope.
Huh. Yeah.
Just try and capture that video.
I know. Nonetheless, video, that's the point there. If you want to see,
I guess, what we look like. If you don't know, I don't know. I feel like the guests, that's where the value comes in.
Well, for
People
sure.
like to see
Everyone
like
likes
the
to see
guests,
Roger Hayden,
the heroes
getting after it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, Roger. That's a good one too, because he's like his stories, man. It's fun.
He acts things out a little bit as he sits in his chair.
Yeah, but in this real mellow, kind of nonchalant, badass way, It's real good. But yeah, YouTube, subscribe to that one if you like. Also, yeah, it's the video version of the podcast. Yes, but I will take out little excerpts and we'll post those as well. So you can, if you're into sharing little lessons with your friends or coworkers, whatever, you can do that. So you don't have to share the whole podcast. I'll put some other stuff on there, interesting stuff. I think we'll think up some other stuff just in relation to it. We've been spitballing about some stuff. Anyway, if you want to see what that is, go on YouTube. It's not like YouTube costs money. Or does it?
No, it doesn't. It's free.
YouTube Red costs money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not dealing with YouTube Red. We're not doing that.
Not yet.
No, I don't charge for content.
No, we're not going to do that.
No.
But I was thinking about getting YouTube Red.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing for sure. But yeah, YouTube, subscribe. You want to support that way, that's cool. Also, Jocko has a store. It's called Jocko Store. JockoStore.com. So I keep forgetting everybody's name, but very clever guy said,
haiku.
Hey, this was a haiku. Yeah. And then I went through it. I was like, dang, but I was like, it's not a haiku.
Because the way he said the right?
Jocko Store, yeah.
So why don't you change it so it's a haiku?
Because it might, I guess. Okay, here we go. Also, Jocko has a store. It's called the Jocko Store. JockoStore.com. Boom, there's the haiku. Nonetheless, JockoStore.com, that's where you can get, if you want, shirts, rash guards, hoodies, some patches, Velcro, regulation size, and color. Some of them, some women's stuff on there. Anyway, the point there is, if you like t-shirts, you want to represent, get a shirt. Boom, good support. They're good shirts too. They're not the free kind.
When you put on
junk.
a Get After It t-shirt,
yeah,
do you get a little bit?
Yeah, you want to get after it more. And actually, that actually sounds kind of funny, but when you think about it, it's super obvious. Yeah. So like, you know how like, I mean, I don't know. You're different.
It's a literature thing. What? There's a literature thing. It's called something like The Dressing of the Warrior.
Yeah.
And you'll see it in movies. They do it in movies where you see the guy putting his boots on and putting his gear on and putting his sword and picking up his shield. That's donning his helmet. They do it everywhere from knight movies to gladiator movies to soldier movies in the modern day. You'll see these scenes. Well, they do it in literature too. So there's a little something there's a little reality to that. Like, I'll tell you what used to get me was flipping down. So night vision goggles, you wear them on your helmet, and they flip up when the lights are on when you're getting ready to go, and then when it's time to go, you flip down your nods. And for me, like that was just game on. It's so game on when you flip down those nods. And so when I got back from my last deployment, I'm working training, and we'd go out. We'd still be on night vision. We'd go out at night to observe the troops and run the opposing forces and all that. But I'd get out on the target area and flip down my nods, and I'd like go into full combat mode. It's just so good. Yeah. So I think sometimes you put on the Get After It t-shirt, you sort of feel a little something.
Yeah. I think it was Gladiator, that movie when they're like, I don't know, it's like the emperor or something came up, and then there was like this small act of defiance from the gladiator guy, and then all the guards behind him, they all flipped down their thing, and boom, we're ready to go real quick. I think it was Gladiator.
Probably.
Might have been something else. Nonetheless, yeah, the modern version of that, right, with these, like, and it did happen to me when the first shirts came in, the Discipline Equals Freedom. I was like, ooh, the shirts are, and I put it on, and I wanted to, like, go work out in it, and it makes sense. When you get a new rash guard, it's like, or you get a new gi or something, you're like, can't wait to go practice in my new gi kind of thing.
When little kids get new shoes.
Yeah,
like,
exactly
I can
right.
Run faster now.
Oh, yeah, in football, when we split in Pop Warner football, we'd get the new shoes for the season. I can't wait to go to practice. Practice super hard, and it sucks, dude, especially as a little kid. But you just want to when you get that new stuff. Nonetheless, so, like I said, JockoStore.com. Get yourself a new shirt. You get the one that says Get After It. Guess what you're going to really want to do? Get after it. Some other ones on there. Pretty cool, I think. And they're good. They're quality shirts. That's, in my opinion, that's even more important than what it says on them, because they're wearable.
I can print like, yeah, Jocko's cool sayings on a junk shirt. You wear it one time, you're like, all right, maybe I'll wear that again, but it's not very wearable. I don't look that good in it. It's not the case with these ones. These ones look good. I've had multiple people say it's my favorite shirt to wear because I look good in that.
That's kind of the case
shirt.
with the first round of travel mugs. The silver ones.
Oh yeah,
like they were not as high quality as what we went to.
Yeah,
even though they said discipline equals freedom on them. The silver mugs, they said discipline equals freedom. They looked, pretty cool, but we needed higher quality.
Yeah, so it's essentially the same thing. You get the mug, you're like, cool, so my new mug and all this stuff.
That new travel mug is going the distance.
That's gonna replace your whole cupboard. Straight up, it did with me, and I didn't even expect that. But yeah, 30 ounces, and it fits in your cup holder in your car too.
What's the black on black?
Black on black.
Discipline equals freedom. No one can see it.
Yeah,
except for you.
Well,
the owner.
Nah, you can see it. Here's a good thing about it. It's black. You see, look at it. It's black. It's not shiny. It's
it's matte black versus shiny black.
And then then the logo and stuff is shiny black.
So people have to look a little extra hard to see it.
Yeah.
But there's a subtlety to it that's powerful.
It's for you. It's for you. It looks dope. They call it murdered out. The car is black with black rims. Anyway, it looks good. Yeah. And it's double insulated. Is that double insulated? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
When your ice, you put ice water in there, you leave it overnight, next morning you still have ice water. Even if it's a hot night. Even if it's a hot day outside.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I left mine in my car. You go into, where did I go?
The grocery store? I know you spend a lot of time in the grocery stores.
No, bro. No. I was coming back from somewhere, left it in my car with ice. It was just ice. I drank all the water and left it in my car. Came out later that evening. Boom, ice still in the car. Hot day. It's amazing. It's a miracle. Yep. Anyway, those are good. High quality, BPA free, all that stuff. Anyway, jockostore.com if you didn't know already. Also, good way to support yourself and this podcast by happenstance is psychological warfare is what it's called. If you don't know what that is, it's an album with tracks of Jocko telling you how to get through your moments of weakness in the event of you having a moment of weakness. Getting up early, procrastinating, even being creative. It's like for everything, being creative. Like how can you get talked out of writer's block? How can you get talked out of that? It's weird, right?
Yeah.
You will be talked out of writer's block and right into creativity. Yes, exactly right. And same thing with workouts. Anyway, for all the little moments of weakness that you might have, don't worry, Jocko's there. Get it. Psychological warfare. You can even buy the individual tracks too. Let's say you're like...
but that's not as good of a deal.
No, but I mean, really, 99 cents. Yes, it is a good deal. It's a great deal regardless, in my opinion, because look, my whole thing wasn't to wake up early. It was going from not working out to work. You know how it's like, okay, I got to work out today, but I'm on the computer, I'm doing something, I'm like...
a little late. This is important too.
Exactly.
I should really focus on my craft right now instead of working out.
Exactly right. So the workout day becomes a rest day, impromptu, kind of thing. And that was kind of my thing. But so there's a track for that, So if all I need is really that track, the diet thing, I'm not, that weak when it comes to like the diet stuff. So, so maybe I don't need it, but I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying there's that option. Yeah, so you get the one. Anyway, it's on iTunes. It's on Amazon Music.
Google Play.
Pretty much anywhere where they sell music.
MP3s.
Online MP3s. Boom, it's on there. It's called Psychological.
And for people that want alarm clocks, so people always want an alarm clock.
Oh, a ringtone.
Yeah, just put it. No, alarm clock. If you want to wake up to like someone telling you to get up, that someone is named Jocko.
Yes.
Because people want me to do something like that, but I'm like, we already did it. That's one of the reasons why we did this psychological warfare.
Yeah, so you download that specific file to your phone, and then you apply it to your alarm clock. Yeah. So psychological warfare, Jocko Willink. Boom.
You can also get Jocko white tea on Amazon, and people ask if I ever drink energy drinks. And the answer is yes. I drink Jocko white tea. It's my energy drink.
Sure.
Don't need any other energy drinks.
No.
That actually sap your energy once their crash hits you.
Yeah.
Jocko white tea, that's not going to happen. You'll be going strong. Way the Warrior Could. the book I wish I had when I was a kid that shows kids the path. You can get that book, as well as for adults that need to get on the path. There's another book coming out October 2017, Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. It's the path. That's it. Extreme ownership, of course. Combat leadership from the battlefield and translated into strategies and tactics that can be applied in any leadership situation. Extreme ownership. Get it, and then get it. Also, you can also get Echelon Front Leadership and Management Consulting into your company. You got Leif Babin, you got JP Donnell, you got Dave Burke, and you got me. You can contact us at info@echelonfront.com. Of course, the Muster Leadership Conference, but not your normal conference. It's not your normal conference. So don't, whatever your vision of a conference, because I've spoken at a bunch of conferences, that conference, it's not that.
It's different.
It's different. The normal conference, you're waiting for the break, and then you're going to disappear to your hotel room for like 45 minutes.
Waiting for the happy hour.
All that other stuff. That's not what we're doing here. At the conference, at the muster, the muster starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's there at 7 o'clock in the morning. After we get done with PT, everyone's there at 7 o'clock in the morning, including all of us. We're hanging out. When we start at 8 o'clock, we start at 8 o'clock. Boom, it's go time. So it's not just your kind of typical conference thing. We get after it. Knowledge, interaction, solving problems. We go and we go hard. I just peeked out the microphone. I don't do that normally, but we go and we go hard. Cool. Next one is in Austin, Texas, July 13th and 14th at the Omni Barton Creek Resort, which only has 300 people. We're over halfway sold out right now. So register quickly. If you can't make that, you can come to San Diego September 14th and 15th for Muster004. We look forward to seeing you there. And until we do see you there, if you want to talk to us, you can find us drifting about inside the interwebs on Twitter, on Instagram, and on that Facebook. Echo is at Echo Charles, and I am at Jocko Willing.